Eta, ladies, gentlemen, and baby birds, and welcome back to the channel. It's your host, Utopian Dragon, and today I'm going to show you guys how to obtain Kuva weapons. Even though Warframe is a game that's 11 years old and has lured in a good amount of content creators, I find that a lot of you slow people are still struggling to understand a good amount of the game's base concepts. So I've made this video in an attempt to elaborate how to farm Kuva weapons better than the developers have. As usual, towards the end of this video, I'll provide you guys with my tip and tricks that I use that make farming Kuva weapons less ligma and more efficient. For the slower people in here, Kuva weapons are a different variant of some of Warframe's base weapons. As of the posting of this video, there are a total of 20 Kuva weapons in the game. Even though fashion is a massive aspect of Warframe, that's not the only pros that these weapons come with. Besides looking cooler and having slightly better stat values than their base counterparts, Kuva weapons when formatted 5 times will reach a max rank of 40. And most importantly, Kuva weapons will come equipped with innate elemental damage stats. Now, these elemental damage percentages are random and range between 25% to 60%, but the element types itself rely on progenitors. There's a list of warframes that you can use to farm these Kuva weapons, and all these warframes are element progenitors, because each warframe represents an element that you can add to your Kuva weapon. In order to obtain these Kuva weapons, you'll need to create and kill a Kuva Lich, which are these psychos with the most bizarre African names. In addition to them coming with the Kuva weapons you're trying to obtain, Kuva Liches also have a 20% chance to be created with some rather unique and cool ephemeras. And these ephemeras vary depending on which element you're trying to get for your Kuva weapon. So now that you baby birds are in the know, it's time for me to show you where you will be going to farm these Kuva weapons and what you need to do. In the planet Saturn, you'll find Cassini, which is a capture mission, and you, my rather slow friend, will become all too familiar with this node because you'll run it a countless amount of ligma times. After equipping the element progenitor / warframe that represents the element that you want on your Kuva weapon, you enter the mission and rush straight to the captured target. And after capturing him, you slowly make your way towards the extraction point until your screen starts to flash. At this point, you'll have 30 seconds to kill at least 10 enemies. After succeeding in killing 10 or more enemies, a chunky boy should appear in the middle right hand side of your screen, which will inform you that the Kuva larvling has spawned in your mission. Follow the red marker until you find the larvling and shoot it until it enters a state of capture. Now, even though you only have 30 seconds to mercy kill the larvling before it despawns, do not just rush over and kill it. Instead, get close to it and above its head an image of the weapon you're trying to obtain should appear. If it's not the Kuva weapon you're looking for, do not mercy kill it. Instead, extract from the mission and restart. Now, you will repeat this process an unnecessary amount of times until you finally come across the weapon you want, upon which you will then mercy kill that larvling to have it transform into the Kuva Lich you will then begin to hunt. After mercy killing your larvling and extracting from the mission, and upon re-entering your orbiter, you'll enter a short cutscene-like event in which the Lich will then expose itself for having main character syndrome. If you're farming these Liches for their ephemeras and you want to know if they've been created with the ephemera, press start or escape, and at the bottom right hand side of your screen, you should see a little red icon that if you click on it, you'll enter a page which will be able to see the Lich you're hunting in full view. And if it has an ephemera, you'll see it on the Lich. If there's no ephemera effects on the Lich, better luck next time, my unlucky friend. Additionally, in this little page, you'll also get information about the abilities the Lich has, what elements it's immune to, and what elements will work well against it. Now, to begin hunting your Lich, you will comment what is probably the most ligma concept that Warframe has, and that is farming murmurs by killing thralls. Upon entering your star chart, you'll notice that Earth is covered in a red hue, with most of its node being red and having a strange icon above it. These Lich or Kuva Lich missions is where you will be farming murmurs by killing a bunch of thralls. Thralls are these enemies that have added abilities and are for some reason blue in color. Now, the entire point of these missions and killing Thralls is because DE thought it was necessary to make this rather ligma and undesirable concept more ligma and undesirable by adding yet another mechanic that is paramount to this mode, and that is the Requiem mods. You obtain Requiem mods by opening Requiem relics in Requiem Fisher missions. And these mods are what makes converting or vanquishing your Lich possible. By running the Kuva Lich missions that will appear on Earth and killing Thralls that spawn in the mission, you will then begin to fill up a little red circle that appears in the top center of your screen. By killing enough Thralls and filling the circle up entirely, you'll reveal a Requiem mod when you head back to your arbiter after the mission has concluded, that you will then have to slot into your Parazon in your arsenal. Now, you will have to do this process 3 times because you'll need to slot your Parazon with 3 Requiem mods that are needed to vanquish your Lich. To make this mode even more unpleasant than it already is, DE thought it was a good idea to have these mods in a specific order in your Parazon in order for you to vanquish or convert your Lich. So yes, after you've painstakingly farmed all the Thralls that you need and have obtained all the Requiem mods that you need to vanquish your Lich, you will then have to stab your Lich to find out if you've slotted the Requiem mods in your Parazon in the right order. Now, oftentimes you'll have to repeat this process a good amount of times. At each time that you stab your Lich and have the wrong order, it will increase the Lich's difficulty, capping at level 5. And additionally, it will flee to other planets. And that planet is easily identified by the same red hue that Earth had. The enemies that start to spawn in these missions will also increase in level difficulty. In order for you to get your Lich to spawn in your missions, it has to be at a certain angle level. In order for you to increase its angle level, you will have to kill a bunch of Thralls. Now, after you go through all that dookie and have finally got your Requiem mods in order, and you're running over excitedly to stab your Lich for the last time, DE smacks you across your face with their brief in an attempt to let you know it's just going to become more unnecessarily difficult. Because after you stab your Lich with the right Requiem mod order, for the last time, it will then flee to Saturn Proxima. And yes, that means that in this stage you will need your Railjack to perform the last task in order to obtain your Kuva weapons. But after you've garnered the strength to push through the mission and have finally got to the part in which you've defeated and about to mercy kill your Lich for the last time, you'll be prompted with 2 options: to either convert your Lich or vanquish it. Whichever choice you make, you will receive all the stuff that the Lich stole from you after every mission you've done on the planet the Lich had control of. And if the Lich was created with an ephemera, you will also receive that ephemera. Additionally, the Lich, regardless of whether you choose to vanquish it or convert it, has a 25% chance to give you a Requiem ultimatum, which is basically the ability to instantly summon your Lich during the process of you running the Kuva Lich missions. Vanquishing your Lich will permanently kill it, and the weapon that the Lich was created with will be in your foundry ready to claim and equip, bypassing the necessary mastery rank requirements. Converting your Lich is the equivalent of having your own personal bodyguard. The Lich will randomly appear in your future missions to assist you when you've entered Bleed Out. Additionally, you can equip your Lich as your Railjack defense crewmate. Converted Liches can additionally be traded between players. Keep in mind, you will not receive the Kuva weapons if you choose to convert your Lich. Now that you baby birds know where to go and what to do, it's time for my tip and tricks that I use that make farming these Kuva weapons less ligma and more efficient. Number 1. When you're in the course of creating your Lich in Cassini, there is oftentimes a bug that will spawn the capture target too close to the extraction point. When this happens, oftentimes after capturing the target and making your way towards the extraction point, your screen won't flash and the Kuva larvaling won't spawn. Unfortunately, there is no fix for this and you will just have to restart the mission entirely. Whether this bug is still present in the game today, I am not sure. But if DE has patched this, let me know in the comment section down below. Number 2. The most efficient way to guarantee that you get more than 10 kills before your 30 seconds time ends in order to spawn your loveling is to rush straight to the capture target without killing any enemies at all. After your screen starts to flash as you make your way to the extraction point, you'll just need to turn around and start killing enemies, because this way you'll have all the enemies that you ignored and ran past chasing you like a bunch of psycho ex-girlfriends I'm sure none of you ever had. Number 3. The Kuva weapon element damage percentages are randomly generated, starting at 25% to 60%. If you obtain a Kuva weapon that comes with a 25% bonus damage element, but you want 60%, do not panic, because you can get the 60% you desire if you farm additional Kuva weapons of that type and combine them using the Valence Fusion system. Now, even though I know you cannot read properly, read and follow the prompts correctly during the Valence Fusion process, because they are irreversible. Number 4. If you're farming the Kuva ephemeras, the best way to do this is to create your first lich with the element progenitor you desire for that weapon, and then repeat this process for the ephemeras you want that comes with the other elements, and then combine them using the Valence Fusion system to keep your desired element on that weapon and increase its overall damage percentages. But because I know you're slow, an example for this is if you want toxin bonus damage on your weapon, but you want the ephemeras that come with the electric bonus damage, it's best that you farm the toxin weapon first and then farm the electric weapons for the ephemeras. But because of the Valence system, when the weapons are combined, you can choose which element you want to keep on that weapon and increase its damage percentage. The Kuva liches have a 20% chance to be created with an ephemera, and in my experience it should take you about 5 or less tries to farm one. So using this method, you'll keep your favorite elements on your Kuva weapons, get them to 60% elemental damage bonus, and obtain all the different ephemeras. It's a Ligma version of 3 birds with 1 stone type of deal. Number 5. There are a few ways that you can obtain Requiem relics that you will need in order to farm Requiem mods that you will need to either convert or vanquish your lich. The best way to do this is to kill a bunch of thralls from the Kuva lich missions. The thralls have a 5% chance to drop a Requiem relic. Additionally, you can obtain Requiem relics from Kuva siphon missions that will appear in your alert tab. But truthfully, you should leave this option as a last resort because the Ligma is strong with this one. Number 6. Each time you stab your Kuva lich with the wrong Requiem mod order, it will become stronger and flee to a different planet. To reduce the amount of failed attempts, it's best that you slot an old mod into your first Parazon Requiem mod slot. Old mods acts as a wildcard and can take the place of any of the other Requiem mods. There's only 2 ways that you can obtain old mods. They have a 25% chance to drop from your Kuva lich after you've stabbed it with the correct order of the Requiem mods. Additionally, they can be obtained from transmutation. Number 7. Each Requiem mod has 3 dots at the bottom of them. Every time you stab your lich with all 3 Requiem mods in the right order, a red dot will be struck off the bottom of the mod. Once all 3 dots have been struck, the mod will become defiled. Now, please do not sell or dissolve these mods. You can transmutate the defile mods by clicking on 4 of them, and it will return you 1 Requiem mod. Number 8. As Ligma as it might sound, the most efficient mission types to farm thralls would be the very long and rather boring mission types. Defense, interception and excavation missions are your best bet, because as luring as the 2-minute mission types might seem, they spawn significantly less amount of thralls compared to the longer mission types. Number 9. Usually, leaving a mission mid-match, you will lose all of your progress as well as the resources that you've collected. But if you stabbed your lich and the combination has failed, or you've got the combination correct and it ran off to Saturn Proxima, you do not have to fully complete the mission. You can just leave and head over to wherever the lich has fled. But you still will lose all the resources that you've collected throughout the mission. Now, farming Kuva weapons and ephemeras are a rather long and Ligma process, And like everything else in Warframe, it requires a good amount of equipment and patience. The Kuva Lich at higher levels really becomes a force to be reckoned with. So be certain that you have the necessary gear and frames that you may need in order to succeed in this task. But given that you're watching this video and playing games, it sounds like you have all the time in the world. So don't be lazy and learn to embrace these concepts and mechanics of the game. There have been some talk about incarnate weapons making every other variant of weapons in the game obsolete. Truthfully speaking, the people that entertain and engage this type of talk are more deranged and confused than you are. Warframe is a beautiful game that gives you a platform to create your own gaming world and experience. Do not focus on what's meta and what's dog water. Instead, obtain and try everything out for yourself, because it is your Warframe account and your Warframe experience that you need to make the most of. In a nutshell, develop some type of originality and sense of adventure. In these videos, I give you guys the knowledge that I've garnered after all my trials and errors so that you don't have to go through that dookie by yourself. And that, my friends, is going to bring us to the end of this video. With the current element changes in Warframe, which elements do you think are best for your Kuva weapons? Let me know about it in the comment section below. If you found this video informative and helpful, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But because I know you are a cheapskate, I just want to let you know that it's entirely free and it helps me out a ton. If you're confused as always, let me know what you need in the comment section and I will reach out to you. But if the subject is broad and needs more explanation, I'll make a video on it. Look at that, you thought you were nothing but a flicked booger, but you might just be the inspiration for a video. I will be posting another how-to video by the end of this week, so it might just actually be a part 2 of this video. So don't forget to turn in the notice for that. And with that being said, I'll see you all there.